How you doing there, folks? So if you haven't heard the news by now, Lacey Green is willing to engage in open and honest discussion slash debate with non-feminist anti-social justice warriors. Hats off to you there, Lacey. Respect to you on willing to engage in civil discussion. If you want to have a talk with me, I'm here anytime. I'm not afraid of it, unlike some isms and groups. Anyways, Cat Black was a little triggered by this. About 4 hours worth of a live stream triggered by it. And Cat Black is one of those social justice feminist warriors there, and she's a contributor to HuffPost blog and Pride sites, and she's a YouTuber, and she's a former employee for Everyday Feminism. Now, I want to get into, there's a reason why I'm bringing up Everyday Feminism, but I want to get into a little bit about Everyday Feminism first. So, they're a fairly large group. They've got about 84,000 followers on Twitter here, and they've been around since about 2012. Here you can see on the Everyday Feminism About section, they're an educational platform for personal and social liberation. Our mission is to help people dismantle everyday violence, discrimination, and marginalization through applied intersectional feminism, and to create a world where self-determination and loving communities are social norms through compassionate activism. Since the launch, 2012, by Sandra Kim, Everyday Feminism has quickly become one of the most popular feminist digital media sites in the world, with over 4.5 million monthly visitors from over 150 countries. In the last year, over 30 million unique users have visited our site, and our articles have been read by over 60 million times. Online magazine, we work to amplify and accelerate progressive cultural shifts taking place around the U.S. and the world. Our unique focus on helping people apply intersectional feminism and compassionate activism to their real everyday lives has deeply resonated with people around the world. All right, so that's a little bit about it. There's Sandra Kim there. She's all about intersectional feminism. If you want to read more about it, you can find it on the internet. I'm fairly sure. Pretty easy stuff. Here's they're part of their vision statement. All right. At Everyday Feminism, we focus on these issues and discuss them openly. All right. I want you to pay attention to that phrase there. Feminism, or everyday feminism, and I guess by extension, feminism itself, likes to discuss things openly. Now, let's get on to what Cat Black had to say about everyday feminism, their video process, and their production process there. I find it rather interesting. Feminism's all about raising those marginalized voices and discussing things openly, right?
The problems that I had with everyday feminism was that I had to get all of my scripts approved, right? And part of that approval process was them changing the way that I was speaking. Part of that approval process was me having to adjust a lot of my message, having to sort of change my narrative to honestly sort to suit their narrative, you know. And that was something that initially it was okay because I can admit and acknowledge that I'm not always going to have the right way of saying things, the right way of, the right way of, I'm not always going to be right, right? I may fuck up, I may use language that isn't inclusive or whatever. But really, through that process, I really honestly started to notice that I became very hyper conscious of how much my content may offend people. I became very hyper conscious of like what what I would do that would possibly not be considered intersectional, right? And so it was very much this thing where if you didn't necessarily say things the way that they wanted to say, it was you're kind of ousted from the whole conversation. And going back to the initial conversation that I made about this pilot and deleting my posts and shit, I've never really vibed well
So, what goes on over at Everyday Feminism is basically narrative crafting, censorship, and indoctrination. And Everyday Feminism is one of the largest feminist groups or organizations in the world, or advocacy groups in the world. So much for that intersectionalism, eh? Cheers, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Danny Boy out.